All right, hey, Jase, welcome to Jase. He's over here. He's going to check the screen and make sure everything's going on. It's good. We have got an awesome team. We enjoyed the studio today. Over here, Manny Stevens, who's the one that came reception. And we also joined today by Napa. Is it studio number three here? No, he's over here. Yeah, but before we get quick introduction to Harold, Harold is full buddy of mine. He works at my events, hold his own events, healing. Yeah. Here's the way I would explain it is a lot of people do a lot of work on mental and emotional breakthrough seminars and workshop events, but muscles have memory, and cells have memory, and DNA has memory. And so if it hasn't been processed out of the body, as you really have to breakthrough, Harold actually processing on that. So Harold, welcome
to the show, everybody. You sound muffled. I sound muffled. Did someone just say that I sound muffled or what? Oh, let me know if it sounds muffled as I go, guys. It shouldn't be muffled, and I don't know why that would be. So, anything you want to say hi? I just want to introduce Harold, bring him on the show, and so I'm working on Harold, getting Harold to do some trainings online to hear some brilliant stuff. Not just left the mountains in Colorado, just want to do physical, mental reset, and training going. Start sharing the message that was been gifted to me many from Disney, and share and get the interview on. Yeah, so Harold was doing his own seminars, workshops, had a maybe he'll share with you, had an almost near death experience type of thing, and it threw him off for a while, threw him off his game, and he's been managing restaurants, which is cool. It's not his gift, and so he came out to the reset and get him back into the flow doing his workshops and events. Did you ever have that? Like you're not living the gifting? Do this for him. He made a commitment to come out with you to get rolling. So hold on. We're evidently having lots of problems with audio. What? I'll give you an idea what to do. I'll get you a picture. Hi, Harold. Hello, everybody. Hi, Gary. I'll go to I'll switch to my earpods. Evidently, guys, we're having audio challenges, and let's see if we can get this. Give me just a moment. What a way to put it down. I never had muffled sound before. So let's see who's on here. Victor says, Victor said it's muffled. I've never had muffled audio before. So I'm super excited. I want to get this working too because I can't wait to get on. Our guest today is so awesome. I did this with
who's fantastic. And I don't know if you could ever have too much information on marketing online. I know for me, it can be, I'll just say this for someone, I'm masterful at speaking, and 99.9999999% of my business has come through speaking. Like I currently don't even have a website. We're still making sales online, which is amazing because I'm doing one-on-one calls, right? So, recap. I was just handed a note that says recap. I feel like I'm a pro here. Like I'm on cart. Hey, what show is this from? Ready? David Letterman. That's right. So, let me recap the show. Harold just came out from Telluride, Colorado, because he wants to get back in the game of speaking. He was doing workshops and events, had a near-death experience, kind of got sidetracked, and he came out to stay with me for a couple of weeks. He's going to work out, eat right with us, and get going on his speaking again. And then the person I'm super excited to talk about that I'm about to bring on the show is Victor, because I've been learning marketing, and there's so much to learn. It's so overwhelming. It's so crazy, but you can never learn enough of it that I'm so excited to bring this guy on. And I had such a nice experience. Do you ever meet someone who's just like warm and loving and going for it? That's who this guy is. And you can combine that with expertise. Oh, it's such a delight to have him on. So everybody, please welcome to the show, Victor Vento. Welcome
hey,
to the show,
how's it going? Thanks, Jase. I appreciate the invitation. I'm excited to be here.
Oh man, you're welcome. Am I no longer muffled?
No, yeah, it was really weird back and forth for a second there. I was kind of like, I'm not entirely sure what's happening, but all of a sudden you like turned everything and then it just went. It's good now. So.
Cool. Good. Thanks. Good. So those of you guys at home who are watching, Betsy's monitoring the stream. I can't see everyone who's watching all at once because what we do is we push out to multiple places. So if I don't give you a shout out, please forgive me. And you guys, please like and share the stream. Natalie just piped in. And Natalie says, "Hey, Victor Vento." Yes, Natalie. I just did an interview with Natalie on her channel about an hour ago. It was fantastic. So Victor, tell us about who you are. Kind of give us a feel for what you do, and then I'll share my first experience with you of my first time of like going through some of your stuff online.
Yeah, sure. So I'm kind of a simple homebody guy. Like I got a family. I have a wife and 2 daughters. 2 beautiful girls. One's about to turn 7 months now, and that 4-year-old. And then, but as far as what I do, what people know me for. I serve coaches and consultants, really, and they tend to be speakers in that regard as well. Some of them, not all of them, and we really help them scale at will. Right? We have a specific process that we take them through to do that, but it's super simple. We really stick to foundations, and that's if you look at the back of 7-8-figure companies that we worked with, they're built on a foundation, and most people think that there's new trick and new thing happening here, but if you miss the foundation, I'm sure you know this, with speaking and everything like that, there's a solid foundation you need to start with before you can get fancy with other little tips and tricks of like, speaking and really converting from the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here was my first experience, and I don't know where this fits in the overall context of what you do and how much you do, but so Victor has a podcast that goes out, and he's like, "Hey man, do you want to be on it?" And where we first met was through Danella at Speakers Need to Speak, and she introduced us like in the lobby before it started.
Yeah.
Like, who is this cool guy? Because he's like going for it. He's got a new baby and all this stuff, and just like super excited guy, and like just a really good vibe. Like it was memorable. Which, by the way, is if you're at an event, y'all, be nice. Talk to everybody. You were really great at that. And so then he was talking about being on the podcast. So I go to the URL he gives me, and it starts a dialogue through Facebook Messenger with, hey, what's your name? What's your topic? And it's leading me through the questionnaire process and all that. But it was all handled through Messenger, and it all seemed so, I knew it was a bot, but it was all personal, and it really made it, I was going through it, and I was like, this is cool, and this is something I want to learn more about. So tell me more about that, like what that was, what's the intention behind it, where does that fit in your overall scheme? And like for you guys watching at home, Facebook, whatever your feelings on Facebook are, Facebook's where most of your clients are for most of us. Yeah. And it was funny before this show, Victor's sending me his bio and all that stuff. And so then I went to get his free download just to check everything out. And so he's got a bot leading me through the process of the free download. I'm like, hey, what's the question you asked me? And then I'm like, oh, wait, that was your bot, not you. And it was just great because it gives it that personal touch that I really think stands out. So, yeah, fill us in, man.
Yeah. So what you experience is called a chatbot, a Facebook Messenger chatbot. So it connects to a business page or a fan page, not a personal page. That we just want to make sure we separate that there. There's a difference between business and personal here. So the business page can have something like that set up. And in a nutshell, what you're doing is when people go and interact with your page and they want to reach out to you, for example, let's use a traditional brick and mortar. Someone reaches out to the favorite restaurant, they want to know the hours, or because they didn't put it for some reason, or something like that. Are you guys open with new hours for COVID or whatever? Mm-hmm. They have to wait for someone to respond to them. And most often, those businesses do not have someone always there ready to interact with people. But a bot can be triggered to answer specific questions of that nature. So from a perspective of like where someone like you and I use it, it's very similar, right? People are inquiring and commenting on our posts, and that can start a conversation. And again, going back to the fundamentals of business, conversations lead to relationships that lead to business. And if the more conversations you can have simultaneously, the better. So if people are commenting on your posts, interacting with your live videos, things like that, your bot can be triggered from your page to interact back with them. And as you can see, like I was doing something else while we were getting ready for this, but you were opting in and still having that experience of that conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was awesome. So what got you onto that? Or give us more of a feel for like who you are and how did you get onto this?
Yeah, okay. So that's a fun story. I'm a huge gaming nerd. And
Are you?
Yeah, I'm just big
What do you play?
in PC games. So I'm huge, like not even like ashamed to say it, but I'm a huge like World of Warcraft player. Not anymore, but like way back when I used to play all the time. I played things like that, like Warcraft, StarCraft, things on the PC. They're very strategy based, turn based, things like that. And some of even just a lot of things like that. So that actually led me to go into game design and development when I was younger in my college years. And I actually built a game with some roommates. And I found through that process that I'm very good at storytelling. That's the part I really excelled at. And I really crafted a storyline. And I was really a fan of this open world, choose your own adventure. There's a beginning and an end, but how you get there is up to you. Mm-hmm. So we bring that back to marketing. There's a beginning and an end, but how you get to that end is up to you. And I love crafting that for our clients.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm processing on that you said video game. I used to be addicted to playing Halo, which,
oh my gosh, yeah, I love Halo.
Sounds like a complete waste of time. In some ways it was, but it also taught me like and this was before, online streaming and all that was around. So even back in like 2005, they started like the online games where we'd be on a team of 8 people. And then we'd all have chat and we could talk. And one of the things I learned back then that applies to business now, when the team was on the same page and the team communicated, we'd win. And when the team wasn't, we would lose. So there's always lessons to be learned. All right. So you're really into the strategy and stuff. So how does this, like, what is the overall why of your company or the overall context and mission of what you guys do? And then how does the chatbots fit in with that?
Sure. So I guess one of our big audacious goals here is really to help 1,000 entrepreneurs get to 7 figures or more by 2029. So
awesome.
We have about 9 more years, but we set that goal 2 years ago to start, and we were like, all right, let's do it. And the way this works is, like I said, the more conversations you can have simultaneously with more people, they start to interact with you. They start to create a relationship with you, build a relationship with you, and they start to trust you and like you. Yeah. And we can only do that so much. Essentially, this bot is literally meant to interact with them enough until you can get there, right? It's not meant to take you completely out. That I don't believe in, right? If you want a completely automated business, good luck. But if you want something that helps you to interact and build relationships, then this is going to be what's for you.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So what is the overall thing? Like, how do you guys help? How are you going to help 1,000 people hit 7 figures, which would be awesome? That's 7. What is it? You said 7,000 or 8,000? 1,000.
1,000 entrepreneurs get to 7 figures or more.
That would be awesome. That's over $1 billion in new business. So how are you going to do that?
So, yeah, it's a great question. So a lot of who we work with is, like I mentioned, coaches and consultants, right? The reason we specifically focus there is because coaches and consultants, coaches in the entrepreneurial world, consultants in the corporate world, they help businesses themselves. And coaches who really focus, like, for example, you help people with speaking. When we decide to do anything together in the future, we help you to help your clients. We help you bring in more people, and then that helps you to help those people elevate as well. And through that, I can only help about, maybe over the course of that 10 years, I maybe be able to help 100 to 200 people, if that. But working with people like yourself allows me to increase that reach a lot more, because then your services help those people get to that next level as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So how did you start doing this? Like, how did you make the jump from World of Warcraft to marketing?
That's a great, sure. So I've always kind of delved in technology, right? That once I finished college there, I worked for a software company, and we were a group of 10 and in California, and it was more like I wore many hats, right? I did sales, I did a lot of the QA testing and led a lot of the development team. And then on top of that, I had to create kind of a sales path or a marketing path for how we brought in new people to work with us.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of was just thrown on my lap. I found very quickly that I excelled pretty well at it. So that was kind of one of the things that really started guiding me down toward that path. And it was great because people were like, man, I love like this whole indoctrination of getting to work with you and everything like that. Like that whole process of getting to know you guys, that was just like, I've never worked with a software company like that. And I loved hearing that. And I was the one who crafted that experience for them. So once I broke off on my own, I found that that's kind of what I wanted to do for my clients, for ourselves and everything like that. So it's really creating an experience. Like I like to gamify a lot of things. And that allows for people to remember things and be very memorable. You can say, I focus a lot on strategery, I guess you can say on a couple of things. I get joked at by family members all the time. They're like, you're always strategizing. I'm like, I love doing it. So,
right.
Yeah.
So I know what gamification means, I think. What does it mean to you? Like, what does it mean in the context of marketing? By the way, let me do some shout outs real quick.
Sure.
Betsy, Mom, good to see you. Lynn, good to see you. Josh Cantwell, hi. By the way, we're simultaneously streaming to different Facebook sites. So it looks like we only have like 2 people watching, but we actually have many. I'm not sure I like that. I think I like sharing one stream and then sharing that to different pages. So all the comments are in one place. But Tom Bartholetti, good to see you on here. Natalie, good to see you. Vector, it looks you're watching stream. Good to see you, of course. We're also broadcasting on YouTube as well. So welcome all you guys. If you have questions on marketing, automation, the chat bots, please put them in the comments and we'll ask Victor for them. So, all right, so keep going. So what does gamification mean to you and how do we use it?
So here's the psychology of why gaming works and why it's addicting to a lot of people. There's very quick results, very short, actionable, do this, get this result, and you get rewarded, and that's a lot of reward. So when you first play a game, like let me use World of Warcraft, for example. When you first start, you become this, like you're level 1 and you start to do this thing. The first quest is go kill 3 pigs here or whatever. You kill 3 pigs, they're like literally thousands of them within like 10 feet of you. So you go kill 3 of them, you level up twice, you get all this gold, you get all these items, you get a new skill. And so like you immediately start, it kind of pulls you into like, I like winning. And I associated doing that by doing this quest. And I associated that feeling of dopamine, that rush of dopamine that I get with doing this thing. So when we bring that to marketing, when we go to create lead magnets or anything of that nature, we want to make sure that we give the person a cookie. They were going to enjoy the cookie with or without you. The next step is to offer them milk. They don't need it, but now it makes their experience that much better. And when they start to associate that I took an action, I completed an action, that's the most important part, I completed an action, they associate that doing and momentum with you. And then they start looking to you for more. And that's how games create people and pull people in to keep wanting to come back and keep playing. And that's how successful businesses, that's how most successful businesses actually attract people, their perfect ideal clients, and keep them moving forward.
I love that gamification theory because I was listening to these podcasts a while ago about, it was around when I was creating my system for speaking. I was studying all this stuff on social psychology and brain chemistry. And one of the things they talked about is how, I don't know if it's that dopamine rush or what it is, but there's a reward center in the brain.
Yeah.
And like playing games on the phone, we get a hit, we get a hit, we get a hit. And so on a very biological level, when we can give that brain that positive hit, the brain wants more of it and will do more. So I like that a lot. It's kind of like we say in speaking, the best way to have your clients want more is to give them a win and help them produce results as soon as they can. A result could be they learn something, they apply something, So you're automating it for that.
Yeah. So like it goes down back to like a foundational concept. One of my mentors says it. He got it from somewhere else, but it's the good old, like Frank Kern says this. He says the good old help them by actually helping them trick. You know.
What a theory, huh?
Yeah.
Crazy. Awesome. So what do you see is working right now in the market? What are you seeing that you're digging? What's new? What are you guys focusing on? What would you, and so here's most of our people that are watching right now. Well, we have all kinds of people who are watching. We have some brick and mortar businesses who are like a lot of home inspectors who do presentations in realtors' offices or clients of mine. Then I have a lot of coaches, experts, authors, people who are infopreneurs who are marketing. So what are you seeing is working? What do you recommend they focus on? What do you got?
So I have like, I'm excited. Okay, so check this out. You mentioned like realtors and stuff like this, and here's how you mix the real world with digital world very well.
Yes.
You have to do a lot of showings, and right now you can't really bring people in to do showings. Instead, what are some realtors doing? They're going and live streaming like, hey, look at blah, 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 blah. Now, here's where you can make that experience even better. You can connect a bot with a live stream. For example, we can connect one here, and if people comment, you tell people to comment, let's say, I don't know, a keyword of some kind, it can trigger the bot to look for that because it's coming from your page and then start a conversation. So let's say a realtor is looking around, showing you around the house. You're like, yeah, and if you want to know more features about this neighborhood or houses like this, comment, I don't know, like the address, like 2445 or whatever. And then you're like, great, people start commenting that. Not one, it tells the Facebook algorithm that people want to watch it, so it starts to show more people. Two, the bot now starts interacting, and it gives them detailed information on the house. And that person technically just became a lead now because they're connected via your page. And you can ask them, do you want more information? Let me collect your email address. I'll send it to you. You can connect. Now it comes into automation, right? You connect it to your CRM. It sends them the email with that specific thing. And then now you have them on your email list too. So on top of what that person is doing live, it allows you to create a better experience that way. As far as like infopreneurs and things like that, what we've done is they do a lot of webinars and things like that, right? People
so hold
don't
on,
want to spend.
before you go forward, I want to make sure I got this. So I can have a bot plugged in with this live, so that I could say, hey, if you want my system for speaking, type the word system. So they type the word system, and then Messenger would open a private conversation with that person and invite them to enroll for whatever, or have a conversation that could go down a decision tree to take them to one of many different trainings or one training or something.
Yep.
No way. Are you? That's right. Because I've been seeing people pushing on Facebook Live and stuff. They're like, comment yes if you want, if you're, and I'm thinking they're just trying to get comments and interaction and keep people interacting, but they might have actually been doing that to open up separate conversations through Messenger.
And you can have specific different keywords. So for example, let's say.
Oh, hold on. Before you go on, I got to let this.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Because because all speaking, one of the things I say is all sales, especially when you're speaking, begin and end one-to-one. So what you're doing is you're literally leveraging public speaking or the live platform to have people then open individual dialogues.
Yeah.
That's really hot. That's crazy cool. That's like, no way. Okay, yeah, all right. I got it. Mind blown, but fantastic. Hey, Scott Harris, good to see you too. Scott just joined in. Hey guys, if you're watching, please comment. No, just kidding. We don't have the bot set up yet. But please do. Tonio Garcia joined. Good to see you too. Please like and share the stream though, guys, because we want to help more people, and Victor's info is awesome, and we want more people to see the love and encouragement we have on here. By the way, side note, Victor, I'm totally going out of context for a second. Something I was really glad having you on the stream today. We were watching church service last night, and this pastor was talking about how he's been talking to all these other pastors, and they're all discouraged. And it was interesting because when COVID and stuff hit, I got really discouraged for a while. Then I got over it, and I was thinking about having you on, and your energy is always just so nice and up, and you're just such a delight to work with. that I was like, for everyone watching at home, I hope that you find Speakeasy encouraging. I hope that you guys find a home in this place, that an hour a week you get encouraged, you get excited, and you get tips to grow your business. And I want to encourage you to put more people in your life like Victor, because when your tribe, you get that high vibe tribe, when your tribe is up, when your tribe is going for it, you'll go for it. And so I was just so grateful that we're in a good space. And I was grateful you're coming on because your energy is always awesome. So I wanted to give you that kudos, that shout out. And everybody watching, really, I mean it. Please do like and share the stream, because we want to help more people and we want to bring more positive into people's lives, because you can make a killing right now. And you're doing really well on your stuff. So back to you. So we were talking about the keywords, which I'm still loving. This okay, keep going.
So yeah, and you can have multiple. So for example, most of the time, and just to kind of riff off of what you said with like pastors and churches, they could do something like this too, because they live stream from their page. And one thing they could do is if they usually pre-plan their sermons to an extent, right? They go out, they riff too, but a lot of the times they have like specific things they want to cover. So you could have like specific keywords that lead to different, like, hey, we're talking about this here, this passage. If you want to learn more about it, type this, and then it kind of gives them more of that, right? So you think about it from your perspective. If you have specific trainings that you're talking about, or because we're all virtual events right now, when you go to do something like that and you're streaming from your page, you can say, hey, before we begin, if you guys want all the worksheets that I'm going to be showing you in the presentation, just type this and it'll send it right over to you, right? That triggers it and it gives them all the whole PDF download, the presentation. And then throughout the presentation, you start talking about like a specific thing. You're like, hey, if you want to learn more about this, go ahead and type this and that'll send it to you. So like different keywords can trigger different routes. Again, there's a specific beginning and end, but how they get there is completely up to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So like I could have to give away my template. I can type the word template, and then that could take them on a decision tree or a series of Q&As, or if they want to schedule a call, a series of Q&As, or if they want to book me for a podcast or vice versa. That is crazy cool. Is it expensive to set that stuff up?
It depends on how you do it. If you set it up yourself, the expense is time, because you have to learn a lot of the things. If you work with someone like me to do it, I mean, like it depends on what you consider expensive. Like some people consider $100,000 expensive. Some people consider $500 expensive. So like that's really relative.
Yeah. Does Facebook charge a lot for it? Might have been a better question. How do they charge?
Okay, Sorry, I didn't understand that part. Okay, so there's a specific software that I like to use called ManyChat. It's kind of like any email thing. They charge by subscribers, and it starts at $10 a month. They're a company that started 3 years ago, and when I first heard about them, I jumped on it. I'm now an educator partner with them. I help actually build the platform with them. So I'm one of the people that kind of drive it and be like, this is what we want as marketers. This is what I would like to see from the platform. And their developers go ahead and take care of it, which is pretty cool. So I have a bias. There's a bunch of them out there, but they were one of the first, and they're one of the biggest now.
That's awesome. That's one of the reasons I like working with professionals, because like you're talking about doing it yourself. You're always going to pay for a seminar. You're pay for coaching. You're either going to pay for it by paying an expert like you, or you're going to pay for it from time, energy, money spent doing it yourself, or probably mistakes. It's like, who would have even known that there was a company out there called that? And that's where experts know so many layers deeper. So what do you recommend? Like, where do you want to take the conversation? Do you want to talk about Aubrey Khan, by the way, just joined. Good to see you, Aubrey. You're a regular viewer. See if we've got anybody else. I got to look at different things. Laura Killebrew just joined. Good to see you as well. Laura, hi. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'll say here's a way to think about it, and some of the things that people can do now, right? Even if they don't have a bot set up, what they can start to do, and they can still interact that way and have people interact with them, because we forget Facebook is the new television, and Instagram is like the new magazine, right? We're scrolling through pictures and quick videos and ads and stuff like that. Where Facebook, we're watching people. We're doing watch parties. We're paying attention. There's episodes, and tune in next week and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So the difference, though, is we're so used to watching television without interacting. So people don't normally interact on Facebook Live or things like that. But if you tell them to, if you ask them to, if you ask them and engage them, they will more likely to do it. They're just not used to it yet because it's been ingrained with us so much that when we're watching something, we're just paying attention. We're not necessarily interacting because we never had that before, when now we do. So it allows us to interact, and it's a good practice to get people started, to get them like, hey, if you guys want this, even if you're manually sending them out afterwards, like, hey, if you guys want that template, type this below and here you go, I'll send it to you. And then after the live stream, you personally send them out. There's things you can do to make it easier, but at least you can get your audience used to doing that. And once you have it set up to be automated, then it makes it that much even. It makes it even better for you. So there's just a couple of things you can do there.
Awesome. So where do you recommend people start with their marketing right now? Like, is this the main thing you do, or do you come out with their overall social media strategy, or what is the crux?
So I primarily focus on Facebook. We do a lot with Facebook ads and bots and funnels and things like that. So for example, here's how, before running ads, here's how one of our clients kind of filled their webinar just through organic. They do a lot on Instagram and Facebook Lives, and they go on Facebook Live and they task people to interact. And once someone interacts with that bot, technically they become a subscriber. So technically they're on a list for you. And when you own these lists, like, that's the name of the game, right? It's like in marketing, you need to have, the bigger the list, the better your chances of converting and getting and growing your business. So with that said, you have things like you can do sponsored messages. And this is how, in January, for this particular client, when they first started doing this, when we invited people to a webinar, I don't know if you have like a masterclass or anything like that going, but generally the cost per registration ranges in the industry anywhere between like $8 to $20. We were getting people registering for them for like 32 cents, right? So it's really cost effective because it's a warm audience, right? It's very similar to emailing your list, but you're paying. This is where Facebook comes in, and this is where they charge, right? You're paying to broadcast to that list. If you grab their email too, so now you double dipped, you have them on this list and your email list. And there's like, I can start going into that, but there's just a lot of things that now you have multiple areas, multiple touch points, right? How do people like to interact with you? Do they want to read your emails, or do they want a message from you? How do we interact with our friends and family? We usually message them here. We read emails personally here. So it's up to them how they want to get to the end, but you're giving them different paths to get there.
That is so cool. So when you interact with them, like you said, did you say that you get, like, is it a list that Facebook owns, or when they interact, you automatically get their email too, or say more about
okay.
that?
So yes, you can screen share, because I know you asked that as well if you'd like to. But what you were saying about, do you own it? Yes and no. So technically, they're on Facebook, but because you're paying for the software, like ManyChat is the software that kind of connects it and makes it all possible.
Yeah.
You own that list. So anyone that's ever messaged your page from that point forward, from when you've installed that piece of software, then they start growing that list, and you start owning that list. You can also get them on their email list. They have like connections that you can do, or you can use things like Zapier to connect to different things. But if you grab their email, it allows you to pull it and send it to your email list. You have to get them to like opt in a way and be like, hey, can I have your email? They say yes, they provide their email, but it takes it. Here's the cool thing. I think you experienced this. When it asks for your email and your phone number, it automatically popped up for you, and you just have to tap the bubble. Was that right?
Yeah. I don't remember. It's been a while, honestly.
Okay. So, I mean, like, if you want to screen share and kind of go through that.
Yeah. So what Victor was talking about when he's like, oh, I didn't know you asked that, I messaged him and I said, hey, because I just got this idea. Yeah. Can I screen share? So I'm thinking it might be cool to show people what it looks like to go through one of these. So we're putting you on boy, I hope it works, right? We're gonna put you on the
This
spot
is the
here.
kind of technology decides to not work, right?
Who
Yeah, no,
wants to
it's
see me do this with Victor live? Mash your like button. If we'll get enough likes, then we'll do it. All right, I'm mashing the like button for you guys. Did you mash your like button? We're mashing like buttons here. Yeah, okay.
yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Where else should we go to? Let me share this other. I'm going to share my screen. Share screen. I'm going to share application window. This. All right. All right. Here we go. So what do we got? Where do you want me to go to?
Right. So you could just go to the link that I sent you earlier, and just kind of go click on that one. You should be good. But yeah, so in a nutshell, your experience is going to be a little bit different. Here's why. Because I don't like, and this goes back to like my software programming days.
Mm-hmm.
We build redundancy in there to an extent, right? We want to make sure we create the user experience as unique. So the very first time you interact, and the very first time any one of those messages asks for your email, after that, we'll always confirm it, but we'll never ask you. We'll say like, hey, is this the email you'd like to use? Instead of asking again, like, hey, can you give us your email? We've recorded it and we say like, hey, is this still the best one to use? Because if it has changed, you can update it. Now, if it hasn't changed, then you say, yes, that's the one, and then we're good. So it's more of a confirmation. And that subtle difference is, just imagine having to always opt in and provide your email. Whereas imagine instead you go to a landing page or something, you're like, I want to download this cool cheat sheet. And it says like, hey, we have your email from last, you opted in before. Is that the same one you want to use? Sure. Okay, great. And then it just is a slightly better experience than like, hey, give us your email and name again. You know, it's personalized.
So it's going to show up a little bit different, but we'll still be able to give people a feel for how.
Right, yeah. So for you, it'll ask you to confirm the previous email you used and whatnot. So that's kind of what, you know, what to expect from something like that. So
all right, cool. All right, so let's go to it. I'm going to your. So this is this isn't a Facebook page now. This is just a website.
This is just like a regular like funnel page or download page of like, here, I can give you this and whatnot. And you can see it down the bottom right. There's a little messenger bubble. I've branded it to my brand colors, but if you'd like, you can actually put these on your websites too and interact with people. So if you click on that, you can even start to kind of go through it. So I think it remembers your name and everything. So it says like, hey, Jase, yeah. So if you click on that, that'll kind of get you through it and whatnot. So it'll pop up and like from our previous conversation, but if you scroll to the very bottom of what just happened, I actually have it set up to be like a picture of myself. I'm like, hey, I just like to personalize it again, right? Yeah. And then it kind of gives you like, hey, where would you like to go? Do you want to see some case study things that we've done? Do you want to hop on a call? Do you want some freebies? Like what can we help you with? And then it's, again, choose your own adventure. How do you want to get out of here?
Picture.
Where do you want to go?
I'm going to go to what is this?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's Jase, kind of like going through everything, and, you know.
Yeah, do you want to read it so it's in your voice? Or you want me to?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So it's like, hey, Jase, I'm going to walk you through a few steps. Make sure you tap on the images to enlarge or click the buttons to move forward. With Messenger, we can walk people through short sequences to, and I can't really make it out.
Figure out what fits them
from
best,
here.
ensuring that they find what they want, not what we think they want. Mm-hmm.
Right. But again, they're telling us because they were the ones interacting, right? You were more curious about what this is compared to like the freebies or the case studies. So then just like an email list, you start to segment people and start to see what it is they actually want to know and where they're at. And then it kind of like allows them, you can give them more personalized information that way.
So I'm going to click.
You can get even cooler with this. There's things that you can connect. You can get even cooler with this. For example, Google has like this chat AI that you can connect with this. And it's a learning AI. So if you connect it when you first start it, you don't necessarily have to have a generic like yes or no question or this or this or this or this and kind of it gets boring. but you can have more open-ended questions, and it'll start to look at things, and it'll look at context. So, for example, we've used it with a company that uses Shopify. It's like an e-commerce store, and they have it set up to where it's like, there's two things. If you say pay attention or like how much do I pay, there's two different contexts there. It'll look at both, and through its power of, you know, the internets, it'll say like, oh, this person's looking at monetary and this person's talking about something else.
That's really cool. So that's getting way advanced.
That is like super deep into the matrix and all this stuff. So you don't want to go there.
So let me show. I want to show some more of this. I want to show people what it looks like when we actually do. Click on this. So down here it says "Tell me more." So I click. Yeah. Tell me more, and then it looks like he's typing, which is. You know, I think you guys have all seen this, but it's. Do you time out how long that little typing thing takes?
Yeah, you can time out. You can time out.
So let's see. You're typing a long message. So let's see. And so that if I go to Messenger, it's actually going to open up Facebook Messenger then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So even though it's on your website, it's through Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
That's very interesting. And so then it's got stats here on WhatsApp, so October, millions of active users on Messenger, customers like. So basically, you're sharing people about Messenger.
Yeah, it's just kind of
really interesting.
What's that?
Because it's given response, it's not like an overwhelming amount of content at once. It's very interactive.
Yeah,
that's cool. And then I want to show you. Well, let's see if it'll show up. But so I have a tab open over here, and you guys can't see it the way I'm screen sharing. But when the messenger messages me back, it says Victor messaged you. So there's a tab that's flashing Victor messaged me that makes it look like we're actually having a real conversation.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think there's a picture of Joey from Friends in there somewhere. I think from way back when. I don't know. We'll see. Like we'll see if it goes there or not. But yeah.
That's so cool. I'm not going to read everything it says, but you guys can see how it's doing this. Then I could just click and it gives me more.
And you can scroll through that graph. There's like different graphs. You can like side swipe and like look at different things. Oh, that was like an author who was getting leads at 99 cents for their book and stuff like that. And
that's
whatnot.
Cool.
Yeah, just a couple of like a few things that we were doing. But it's there's Joey. He's like, oh my God. I'm a huge fan of Friends too. So
Joey doesn't share food.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
So all right, so you can all right, I didn't know you could do this. So the messenger that works through Messenger, you can actually connect to any website?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's way cool. That's really cool. And so then it says, how can you help, or more examples? So like on that one, is this, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but okay, so there, does this take them more examples, gives them more examples, or does how can you help, does that then take them to a place where they can start to enter into the sales conversation with you?
Yeah, it starts kind of segmenting them and moving them further along and whatnot. So it's like different things that you can do.
So let's look at, can we look through it a little bit more? Are we
absolutely.
All right. So you guys, what I love, this is happening automated and automatically.
Yeah, my hands are up here. I'm not doing anything. I'm not touching any of this.
Schedule. So I'll click schedule. And then awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah. I think it asks
I love
for
your pictures.
Email and then like video
so
call.
You get to, they can choose video or phone. So cool. Because I love that. You know, I've been doing
one of the cool things
sales,
is if you actually go through the finish the scheduling portion of it. So it's like I have it set another automation set up that it comes back and it actually tells you great, and it confirms the time in Messenger for you. It says like great, you've chosen, like go ahead and schedule one, and then we'll just cancel it afterwards, and you'll see the message kind of show up and be like, hey, and you can see it pre-filled the information for you, right? So you don't have to refill information. Again, focusing on redundancy back to like the programming days. And then it's
so good.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, here's what to expect before our call and whatnot. So,
so I want to point out something for you guys at home watching. I can't make this bigger, but if you could see where I'm mousing on the upper right, the Facebook Messenger window up here is flashing Victor just messaged you, and then on his website, it's also saying that because I have, the website chat open and I have the
Yeah.
messenger chat.
So then you can see there, it says it looks like you scheduled for this time and this date at this time. And it like,
Yeah, let me go to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks so cool.
And then there's the Zoom link, right? So you don't have to remember it or anything like that. So it's literally, again, I've personalized it to the point where it's like it kind of does that for you. But yeah, so
that is so hot. And so you're having all these one-on-one conversations. And what I really thought was cool when I did this, I went through the funnel to to answer the questions to be on your podcast, and it like took all my info and like did the form as we were there. And so it was such a time saver. So cool.
It didn't, because like here's why we've seen a 4 times increase in applications for coaching and services of that nature when they have some type of application, usually for a higher ticket service. Because here's the thing with forms, people fill out, they might fill it halfway, but if they leave, you don't have any of that data. Whereas this route allows you to track and capture the data at each data point. So then later on, when they come back, it allows you to say, hey, pick up where you left off, as opposed to fill it the whole thing out again.
That's cool. So it automatically remembers who they are.
Right. So I'm sure if you're anything like me, you hate to fill out things over and over and over again. Whereas you wish, like, you love having like the pre-filled things of Google Chrome, and it's like, thanks for remembering my stuff, but that's kind of what it'll do for you.
That is great. I love it. That is so cool. You said a 4 times increase in bookings?
Yeah.
So who's your ideal client? Like, who do you love working with? Like, who's perfect for you?
That's a great question. So, I mean, the people that want to work with us, normally they're in a place where they're ready to really take this Facebook marketing seriously, right? It's not like, oh, I've tried it, I've dabbled in it before, and like it doesn't work for me, or like, oh, I would love to make Facebook ads, like bring in, because I heard I took this course, and those are not the types of people for us.
Yeah.
The types of people that work best with us and what we can give the best results to are those that already are bringing in people organically. What we're going to be doing is expanding that and increasing their audience and increasing their exposure so that they can actually have more of those people in their world. That is what we do, and that is who we best help. If you are kind of just starting out, I would recommend you go through some type of program or course to learn how to do it yourself. At least have an understanding of what's happening back there. Because you don't also want to run into an agency that has taken like a 1 funnel away challenge, and then they're like, hey, yeah, we can do it for you. And then they're learning on your dollar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm sure. I like how you're like a silent smile, no comment there.
Well, they just did a 3-day thing, and I love that people will go for it. They'll be like, yeah, I'll sign you up and do it. Like, I love that chutzpah, but also if you're putting money into something, let's work with someone who's got experience, who's got a track record. When you're spending that much money, I'd like to spend it with someone who I know I could trust.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Like, we do it for ourselves. What we do for our clients a lot, we do for ourselves as well. Like, the funnels, the ads, the bots, we do that ourselves. So that's what we provide to clients. Outside of that, there are certain things I can help with, but I don't necessarily do. I'm straight up with it. I'm not here to, to posture. We see a lot of that now. It's like, hey, learn how I got to 7 figures when you haven't actually made 7 figures. It's like, I don't know. So things like that. Like, I know what I do well, and I know what I don't do well.
Yeah. Do you have videos with a Lamborghini?
I think so.
No, I
don't. I do have cool videos and pictures of me at a school. One of my clients had a mastermind in Clearwater, Florida, and he invited me over to speak to his mastermind group and like kind of show them what we were doing like this. And we were in this, there was like this extra day for like the higher level people. And we were at this cool like mansion place. And we were all like taking videos, and I was like joking the whole time. I was like, man, this is gonna be this is all my marketing material for the next year, so. But no, that's not who I am. So you'll see me in front of my garden or something like that, or with my daughters or something, usually, and something.
Yes, That's the way to do it. Be authentic. Richard
Yeah.
Buchert, good to see you joining you too. So, all right. So let's put you on the spot. If you're really real, you got something to give away. So what do you got to give away?
Yeah. So I found that a lot of people, since being thrown online, they're still trying to figure this out, right? They don't know how to really show up online. And it's kind of, what is it called? I've heard it said really well before. Shoot. They've said it's random acts of marketing, right? They'll show up online for like a week or two or 30 days and then they'll stop or something like that, right? So they don't know what to do, what to say, or how to really attract people. So I have this bundle that's absolutely free. It has 3 worksheets that we use internally for ourselves and for our clients. One of them is the perfect ad template, right? This is essentially how we craft our own ads. Whether we're writing organic posts, so I don't always use them for ads, but I follow the same formula in this template. But when we write ads, we do the same thing. So it's great for anyone wanting to like really increase their social engagement online, whether they're posting organically or they're running ads. The second worksheet is the perfect client magnet, right? It's what to actually put in a lead magnet, like we said, that's going to allow them to create the momentum and to get that initial win without you, so that they associate that momentum and win with you. And it allows them to keep moving forward. And then the third worksheet in there is the content mapping worksheet. It's essentially how we map out our content planning. And there's a little like script in there of how we do videos and what we like to do. And I'll give you a little bit of what's inside. If you've ever watched the Home Shopping Network, Jase, have you ever watched the Home Shopping Network?
Yes.
I
think everybody has.
Okay, cool. I just figured that. You know why it's one of the most successful or most profitable networks ever? They do a specific
focus on sales.
Yeah, sure, they do, but like there's something that they do consistently. If you ever pay attention to it, this is why it works so well. They're talking about a product, and it's like, hey, before we begin, to get the product, call this number, blah 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 blah. And then, so that's how they start their initial thing of a product and before they demonstrate and show it. And then somewhere throughout the demonstration, they're like, hey, by the way, if you want to get it, we have 5 left. Go call the number, blah, blah, blah. And then they keep talking about it. And then somewhere along the line in the middle, they're like, hey, before we continue, call the number. So they're always plugging a call to action. And there's a script in that worksheet, in that content mapping worksheet that we use, that we found I think there's 4 or 5 phrases that we normally use that allow us to consistently plug without being salesy or pushy. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's also in there too. So those 3
awesome.
worksheets are in that part of that bundle, absolutely free. I figure the more people we can help that way, the better they're off they're going to be.
Cool. So just go to ventobot.com. I love that you call it Ventobot because Victor Vento. Ventobot.com/bundle. Go to Ventobot, and I'm going to put this in the. I'm going to put it into some of the chats. It won't. Betsy, can you copy and paste those over? Betsy will copy and paste those over to the other, because we're going to multiple places. StreamYard will post the for those of you watching, here's why I'm explaining this. StreamYard will push the comment out to certain places, but it won't push it to my personal page if you're watching on my personal page. So, but if you're on my fan page, it will send it there. So Betsy's going to copy them over and share it out. So in that bundle, you also get to go through you'll get to interact with the bot the way I did. So you're going to get to see that whole funnel come up too. So cool. And so you're going to give them all of that for free?
Yep, absolutely.
Download it. Cool. So cool, man. And I love it. Oh, I want you guys to see this. Look at this. Check this out. So I went back to this and I want to see what it do when I said, because I forgot I had to click download here. Watch. Boom. Almost there. Send a messenger. Oh, it's like, we're going to send it right to your phone. Like, you're doing me a favor, but you're getting me to Messenger. I just love it. It is so flipping cool. I just love it. It's just great, man. Very cool. And then if we go back to Facebook, it will show up in my Facebook Messenger. It'll be right here. Boom. So cool. Yeah. And then there's and then this is back here too. This is the chain I went through to be on your show, right? To be on the podcast?
Yeah. So you can see all of the conversation that you went through to do everything, yeah. So
it's all in one place. Yeah, it's I'm excited. Don't Kill Messenger podcast. Start. Great. It asks for my email. That's my phone number. And then
Don't go spamming Jase now. Now that he's
yeah.
showed you.
Shoot, I give out my phone number all the time. I want to be accessible to my people. I have boundaries. I put it on Do Not Disturb at night. This is great. So cool, Victor. Yeah, so cool. Man, thanks for showing us that. So anything else you want to share? We got just a couple of minutes left. So you guys, you can find Victor on Facebook. He's on his fan page. He's on my friends list. He's awesome. But I would say reach out, get those reports. His stuff is spot on. So any other thoughts you have right now? Anything you're thinking about? You want to share? Anything in your heart? Any stories?
So if anyone walks away with nothing but what I'm about to say, is the more conversations you have, the more authentic conversations you have, the more relationships you'll build, which will lead to more business.
That is a great way to say it. Say that one more time.
So the more authentic relationship conversations you'll have, is you'll have more authentic relationships, and then that will lead you to more business.
So when you're writing out your bot responses, do you have to really make it be conversational and not like writing a bot?
Yeah, I interact in that bot the way I talk. Like I don't, and it's interesting when I have it set it up for clients. I actually interview them and have the conversation or record the conversation of how they talk and little like nuances of what they say, and I put that in there because it makes it personalized, right? It's not robotic. It's a person just automated.
Fantastic. That is so cool. Victor, thank you for being on the show. It has been awesome to have you on here.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. It's always fun doing anything with you. So thanks again.
Thanks, man. Cool. Yeah. All right, guys. So go to ventobot.com/bundle. Go to ventobot.com. See you, Victor. I'm going to wrap up with some final thoughts. Thanks for coming on, man. You're awesome. So thanks for Victor. He is fantastic. Ventobot.com/bundle. So also have some giveaways, thoughts for you guys as well. Got two things. One, we have launched our new online coaching program called World Class Speaker Coaching, and it is phenomenal. So before I tell you how you can get a part of that, I'm going to give you a gift. If I need to get a bot set up to do this, Betsy, just comment template. We don't have that set up yet. So here's what I have for you guys. One, if you are interested in what we could do to help you out, because I think we have something really, really amazing that could help you out in that world-class speaker coaching. To see if we're fit to work together, just go to this. Go to callwithjase.com. Go to callwithjase.com. You could book in and do a call with me. No requirements. It's not going to be some hard sale. It's just going to be us talking to see if where you are in your business growth is a fit for getting speaker coaching, and if our new study at home with group coaching program would be a fit for you, and like what we could do with you. The other thing I want to share with you guys is this. I'm a big believer in giving. So if you go to bit.ly or bit.ly/profitable presentation template, you get a free copy of the template I created to structure your presentation so you can crush it on stage. So the two gifts I have, get Victor's and then get my template right here. So go to bit.ly. We'll put this in the text also, so you can just click it, or profitable presentation template. And if you want to see about working with me and group coaching online, super affordable, and we're just launching. We're still in pre-release. We have some special pricing going on. Book into callwithjase.com. We'll have a conversation and see if it's right for you. So this is Jase, Speakeasy with Jase. It has been awesome to have you on there. And I just want to remind you guys, God loves you, and you were made to do something really big. You have a mission that only you can do, and it can be fulfilled and funded through your business. And public speaking is the absolute #1 fastest way to grow your business. It's a way to impact the world. It's a way to impact your business. And it's a way to impact you, because speaking requires you to be at your best. So I'm Jase. We'll see you every Tuesday at Speakeasy with Jase. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming.